StarCraft 2 today as we open up with this best of 3 PvZ. As, yeah, we have in the top left-hand corner of the map the green Protoss player. This is going to be Gerald. Did Classic win last week? Yes, he did, and he 3-0'd here in the finals to do it as well. So, yeah, Classic coming in with the win. That's why he's got that #1 seed. Like I say, I haven't done this forever in the Mondays with the top 4 getting like a better seed, but like generally I have been like, especially, you know, a lot of the time when I seed Max Back, Clem, and Hero, I base it around whether those guys, which of those guys won last week, who gets the better seed. So we've been doing this for 2 to 3 months right now. Just obviously last week we actually had some very interesting entries into the top 4, so we switched it up a little bit. I thought we'd stick with the seed, and it makes the bracket a bit more fun as well, right? Sometimes seeing Clan Max Backs and Hero at the top 3 seeds every single week, you kind of just know what you're getting, so why not just make the bracket look a bit different? It probably ends up in a very similar way anyway, because I think you could fairly say, like, oh, well, maybe instead of, like, you know, this guy being seed 3, that should be Max Backs, and then they could just swap seeds, but then that's kind of roughly the same at the end of the day anyway. It's just the players they play on the way there, so we'll see. Like I say, this is the first week it's really been like a heavy shift up to the point where people are seemingly noticing it, so yeah. Anyways, Gerald in the top left-hand corner, and in the bottom right side, our blue Zerg player is Scarlett, as we get into game #1 of this best of 3. In about 4 minutes, it's walkover time, guys. So if I go a little bit quiet or distracted in 4 minutes, it's just because I'm processing a couple of walkovers. Otherwise, got to sit back and enjoy the StarCraft. We've got a bunch of people in-game on this one already, so I don't even have to observe. What a life! Feet up, relaxed positions, assembled, and we are going to enjoy this PvZ. Scarlett's, obviously, we've seen her playing in the WardiTV May event yesterday. Yesterday, or was that Coupe? No, she played yesterday, yes. So we have seen Scarlett playing a little bit lately. She's definitely not quite of the form that she used to be, but she's still pretty good. I would absolutely come into this and say that Gerald is a favorite. I actually do think Gerald's playstyle might be favorable to Scarlett if Gerald plays that typical kind of somewhat laid-back style and kind of let Scarlett do her thing a little bit. I think maybe we'll get some intrigue out of that, so we will see what happens as the link speed comes up. Nexus and Stargate coming through. And get that underway. Clem with the 5 seed. Well, you know, you take a day off, you're going to lose your top seed, you know? Yeah, I know it's not ideal. I mean, it works because it's been working, because obviously for the majority of the time, everyone's been kind of, you know, signing up and playing each week. I do like having a reason to kind of seed people. Like, usually my seeding is just based on kind of how I feel people are, and, like, it's very biased, so I've, you know, like I say, why not make it so the top 4, at least from the last week, have a little bit of a benefit. And if you win last week, you get the benefit of potentially a higher chance of getting the bye, especially with the number of players we get at the moment. It's quite likely that the first or second places get a bye this week, so that seems to happen quite a lot, so it just kind of works out. And Mana had a hell of a run last week, so now he gets a bit of a better seed, bit of an easier time in the early rounds. He might still get knocked out round 2, because this tournament's very competitive, but honestly, that's okay. You know what's really funny is actually some of my favorite seeding, and this is going to like rile the blood of some people, but some of my favorite seeding was always the Kung Fu Cup seeding, where in the first round sometimes you would have like 2 very good players playing against each other, and in another section of the bracket someone else would just kind of have like a much easier route through to the semifinals. The thing is that when 2 players met each other in that first round, after that first round, typically there would be easier matches after that for them. And what it's obviously not great for the players, because the players would like to get as far as possible, because obviously at least top 4, and so they typically got prize money. But it did mean for us that we got really good matches at the very start of the day. Like the very first match of the day would often be like 2 top-tier Koreans playing each other and so on. And it just meant the entire bracket was always stacked to the brim from start to finish. Like when we did Kung Fu Cup, it was 4 to 5 hours of non-stop great games. Now, obviously, in these Open Cups, we don't have, like, a lot of fodder in the early stages. I mean, Scarlett Gerald as a first-round match is very fun and entertaining. But there is always the times where the first-round match we jump into is very much so someone that's favored against someone that's really not so favored. And even the second-round match is a couple of players that, like, they're good, but maybe they're not kind of the stars of the show. So it was I always really liked the Kung Fu Cup from a viewer perspective, because we got great games all day long. And, yeah, like I say, for the players, it only really sucked for the guy that kind of lost super early, because then they didn't get to make top 4 before they lost. But at the same time, they also, you know, they lost and they got to go home early as well, right? They were freed up already, so they also didn't have to spend so much time, so what I mean, get knocked out around 2, that's okay. Hey, I don't know what's gonna happen today. I'm not psychic. Prove me wrong, go on another big run. Show the strength of that seed 4, you know. Incredible. I can't keep players happy. You give them the good seeds and they're just still out here, just unbelievable. Give me 1 second, guys. I need to tab out to process a walkover quickly. It wasn't directed at you. Like, it's just, you are the oddity in the top 4. You might lose in round 2. It's a competitive tournament. Look, if you don't want to get slandered, then you need to pay the premium package for the seeding, you know? You can't just send $10 for a good seed when it's $20 for a good seed and me not to say anything about it. Oh no, sorry. You're right. I just saw the second payment. Mana is going to stomp this bracket today. Honestly, Seed 4 is too low for him. He got cheesed the hell out last week. It was disgusting. He should have won. And honestly, I blame Protoss. Quite frankly, Protoss once again. They won, but it wasn't Mana's name at the top. What can we say about that apart from PvP is just a cheesy matchup? Unbelievable. These Ling's going to get a good catch and actually going to get rid of a bunch of the Stalkers. So Scarlett going to succeed there. She slows the third base. This is a lot of Lings out early, but... Well, I say early. Apparently I'm... In my head, we're 4 minutes in the game. Apparently we're 7 minutes in the game, guys, because I've just been chatting away to chat and having some fun, so... we are 7 minutes in game, so that's not a third base either. That's a fourth base. Okay, I did not look at the game. I've been completely reading Twitch chat. Like, I really thought that was like the third base location and like the early Lings. Never mind. Third base is up. The fourth base maybe gets denied a little bit as the Lings are going to try and get the probe there once again, and the Oracle's having a little bit of trouble staying around to actually block those Lings away. Let's just see the Archon and the Oracles continuing to gather up and making their way around. So, Lurker Den coming through, Infestation Pit. Scarlett is showing us the intention to go straight into those Lurkers and get that Hive online to get those Lurkers better upgraded as well, give them as much chance as possible of being successfully kind of annoying in this game and just actually great and useful in all the rest of it. Sleep Beacon coming online, Gateway coming up. It's going to see that charge on the +2 attack upgrade coming in as well. We can see a bunch of additional Hydras coming online, Muscular Augments also coming up, and that +2 missiles starting on the Evolution Chamber as well. Spine's building, Evo Chamber coming through. The Hive is continuing by. 11 additional Hydras coming online for the moment. Just going to see the Lings going to run straight through there, going to go for the wraparound, get rid of a couple of Zealots. I do feel like Scarlett's been very switched on at the start of this game. She's been able to really, again, play a lot of, you know, good solid openings. So, I mean, look what she's lost. She lost a lot of Lings, yes, but no drones lost, so no harassment taken. Resources lost in her favor, and now Ling Hydra out on the map. Hive on the way up, ready to go into Lurkers. Like, okay, Gerald is moving into those Tempests already. But as he moves into those Tempests, Scarlett is going to have access to, like I say, a lot of the tech that she needs to kind of stay strong in this game. As Ling Hydra will continue to gather together. Lurkers continuing through. Hive coming up, Overlord's on the way. Melee upgrade and missiles continuing by as well. See even more cannons with stack defense coming up atop of that base. As a few Zerglings run around over to that right-hand side. 11 Lurkers continue to build. And that is going to be, I mean, our first real kind of additional tech up from Scarlett, but she's still got upgrades coming in for those Lurkers that we're likely going to want to wait for before we try and do too much with them. Those Lings run headfirst into the stasis ward, so I mean, at least they pop it, right? Just Lurkers coming across, Zerglings coming through. Just going to be seeing another storm coming down on a couple of Lurkers at the front, so it's going to get that going. The Lurker's going to fire a few shots once again. Lurker's going to fire, a couple of cannons taking shots, storm coming down as well. You are going to be seeing those Hydras still stepping on through, so again, trying to just see what is going on. Tempest getting pushed back. +2 missiles coming about, melee upgrade coming by. Hydras continue to build. Still got that Spire coming up as well as a couple more storms come through at the moment. This is a nice push. I mean, obviously these Tempests will be able to start clearing up in the skies. Do you have any more Hydras arriving to help out with those? Because if you could just get underneath them with a few Hydras, those Tempests are not going to last too long either. Currently really just missing the detection as Few Hydras showing up, some Lings as well. Again, can we jump on top of these Tempests? We do not really have enough right now. We don't have the lunge yet either, right? So the Hydras would really benefit from that. One of the ways in which we've seen Hydras really be able to jump on top of Tempest lately is when they have that lunge, and so they can lunge underneath, they can get underneath very quickly, and just get straight into position in terms of dealing some damage and putting some work in. Storms. Ooh, running back through the storm as well is not ideal, but we do have units elsewhere. Scarlett is just spread across all the bases of Gerald, dealing an absolute ton of damage right now. Nidus is going to pop up, going to come straight through. A couple more storms come down. Hydras and Lurkers taking shots. I mean, obviously, storms are nice. The High Templar are really putting the work in and staying alive as well, importantly. Obviously, you lose those, and that could be pretty rough as the Zealots continue to move up as well. So I got that Mothership and 2 more Tempests on the way out. Tempests are going to go back in, pick away at the Hydras once again. Again, +3 missiles, Adrenal Glands continue to come about. Fire attack upgrade coming through. The additional Hydras. Lings and Hydras still stepping forward. There's the dive. I'm scared about this dive because obviously there was a lot of other units there, but the Lings are doing a good job of keeping everything back. Again, just got that Nexus coming through, the extra Hydras coming about, still got the +3 missiles, the Carapace building, Hydras on the way. And Hydra's just going to continue to step forward. There goes the pylon. +3 missiles and the Carapace coming up. We'll see ourselves. I mean, Gerald's obviously being pushed back repeatedly, but what I will say is that Gerald's continuing to maintain a good, strong kind of set of tech units. These Hydra's going to lunge forward again, try and take this fight. No storms left on that left side. Hydra's on the right side are going to escape away, so going to be able to kite out of there. And a couple more Tempest shots. Hydra's taking shots again. We lunge backward once more. Still got the +3 missiles. Still got the Carapace coming up. 62 extra Lings in production. Scarlett's still just trying to keep the pressure going. My only concern is, does Scarlett have much of a future in this game beyond this kind of army? I mean, we do have the Spire up and upgrades coming in. She has denied Gerald to 3 bases, so maybe I don't even need to worry about what is kind of next for her. Maybe she's already got that in store. Corruptors, and then we just play kind of Corrupt the Lurker. It's been very powerful lately, and I mean, right now, Ling's going to flood into the natural and main base, so Gerald has to go and deal with that problem as well. Probes are going to start dropping. Hydras are still on the right side. Scarlett truly is all over these bases. And like I say, I really feel like Gerald's style of just sitting back and like giving Scarlett time, no damage done early, really has allowed kind of Scarlett to come into her element and do exactly what she wants to do with these armies, which is be very scrappy and take the fight into her own hands, take the multitasking into her own hands, and Scarlett gets away with a 1-0 lead at the start of the day. So Scarlett with a 1-0 advantage, put it up and underway, as we have got in the bottom left-hand corner. The red Protoss player down a game and looking to bounce back will be Gerald. In the top right, taking the 1-0 lead, is going to be Azurk player Scarlett. It was great to see her starting to kind of show up again and playing some events, and actually showing up for an Open Monday Cup. Love it. Obviously, everyone is practicing with some bigger events on the horizon. It does seem like a bunch of them are going to be attending those, so looking forward to seeing them all partake in those over the next few weeks. Of course, we got Dallas coming up. There's going to be Home Stories. There's Star of Zagora. There's qualifiers for EWC. We'll obviously sneak a few WardiTV tournaments in here and there where we can. Maybe Gerald overinvested into Static. I think Gerald typically has this thing where he techs up very heavily, and because he was teching so heavily, I think there is just a world in which you're still not on the ideal. Like, Tempests are great, but actually Scarlett played with a lot of Hydras, and because the Storms never really connected, those Hydras were able to deal with the Tempest, and then the Lurkers, it was just the split, right? And I think Gerald's tech was getting there, but the quantity of the tech was not really there. And Scarlett just did a great job of kind of picking them apart left and right, and making sure that that army had to keep on ping-ponging one way than the other, so I think there was a little bit of that in it as well. Like I say, I think Scarlett left to her own devices is scary, which would mean to me, does Gerald step up a little bit, be a bit more aggressive with those oracles, get them on the map and try and get some damage done, poke away for some drones, try and slow the Zerg a little bit early, maybe a follow-up which does not just throw you into all of the tech in the world, and instead you actually get the Blink Stalkers out on the map and you try and poke around with those as well, so maybe that would be fun. Sorry, I lose my voice apparently. God, that's not a good sign, is it? Lose my voice on the second game of the day? Ooh. It's gonna be a long-ass day if we got no voice. You're gonna have to do some sign language casting. Jeez. Is anyone else's Twitch chat freaking out? Mine is not. Don't know what to tell you. Maybe, I mean, I presume you've already tried to refresh, but I'm not sure. Twitch chat is like a kind of like almost like a certain part of the Twitch page as well. So it might be like if you have a certain extension on it, might be affecting it, or it might just be a bit buggy right now as well. It might just affect some people but not others, depending on what browser you use as well. I mean, this is just a small little streaming website, guys. It's just for streaming video games. No one really takes it that serious, you know. So you can't expect everything to work all the time. let's be realistic. Expecting everything to work all the time, like, oof, who do we think we are? Like, a couple of adepts gonna go shading about. The queen is gonna be there, hitting those adepts back the other direction. Again, just gonna see that link speed coming through. Queen on the way as we get set up, and yeah, Twilight Council coming through. The Nexus building, a couple of probes in the warp gate coming up as well. Have ourselves the Oracle, going to take a little bit of damage. The Queen's going to get there. Actually going to place onto the third base. Twilight Council coming through. Nexus coming up. And a couple of Adepts are going to go shading about elsewhere as well. So just trying to see what else they can get up to here. As those Zerglings will gather. Oracle going to activate into the main base. Going to go and get rid of a Creep Teamer there. Then a few Adepts going to continue to shade around for the moment. This few Zerglings going to get down to the bottom side. Adept's going to get fully jumped on as well. It's just going to get that grab. Pulse around. Few Zerglings going to get nabbed by the Oracle too. So the Oracle's continue to push those Lings away. Resonating Glaive's coming up. I like it from Gerald. Something a little different. If Scarlett tries to go Ling Hydra quickly. Lings and Hydras, guess what? Both die to Adepts. Well, they both take bonus damage from Adepts. They don't always die. Depends on the numbers. But there's a much better chance that you die playing Ling Hydra than playing any sort of a Roach style and so on. Just going to ping this over. Building that Phoenix again. Gerald built a Phoenix last game as well. Run it forward as two. I think Glaive's about to finish. Just going to be seeing the melee upgrade continuing about. Few Zerglings on the way through. Drones on the lag coming up as well. And yeah, just going to be seeing that Forge, Adepts, Probes, Warp Gate, Resonating Glaives continue to come by. And Adepts going to shade. Obviously, Glaives finishing. Roach Roar on the way from Scarlett, but I mean, halfway to the Roach Roar finishing, we're going to be a little ways away from that really kind of coming into play, right? As one Queen goes down, the Oracle's going to dive in overhead. The Zergling's going to come back around as well. Second Queen going down. That Queen's still trying to chase the Oracle away as the Zerglings wrap around for a little bit. And we continue to do what we can. Those Adepts continue to fall. Adepts, Oracle coming about. The Lings get the cleanup. Scarlett is going to defend. So what did we lose here? 5 Queens. We got rid of one of the Oracles at least. Very few Lings went down, though, in fairness, right? So that's actually kind of nice. Obviously, the Queen's going down is pretty rough, but we're going to build 4 at a time. Was that every single Queen? Wow, no Queen left on the map. We're going to rebuild 4, and we're going to get the Overlord speed started as well. So, see what the follow-up is. Obviously, kind of interesting, though, because it's so rare to see somebody lose all of their Queens, but actually not lose too many of the other units. I actually don't really quite know what to make of that, to be honest. It's a little bit of a unique situation. As the Phoenix is going to whack away, and that Overlord will continue to take some damage. Drop Lord's coming up, and Overlord speed coming by. A few extra Zerglings on the way, the Queen on the way through. Got that being brought up. He has the Adept Stalkers and a couple of Oracles overhead. Continue to step on through the middle of the map, heading to that upper right-hand side. Lings and Ravagers and the Queen coming up. +1 and Blink on the way. Temple Archives being added. The Lings is going to go for a massive wraparound here. Oracles will activate. Queen's trying to step up to help. The Adept will commit to their shade where there's already other Lings to grab them. Honestly, continued very good defense here from Scarlett. Just doing a great job of shutting Gerald down in these early stages and keeping herself in an absolutely fantastic position so far. Lings and Ravagers just going to come running up this ramp. We are going to see ourselves the Gateway taking a few hits already, so some shots coming around. We continue to just brute force our way through and try and make our way into this natural expansion. So in we go. Force field comes down to block the Lings out a little bit. Ravager's still going to be on that low ground. A couple of Stalkers hitting the Overlord for a few moments as well. Lings break into the main, and that's actually a big deal because now Gerald has to defend across so many different places. Scarlett throwing a few corrosive files down, trying to knock down the cannon. The Lings in the main being dealt with by some Zealots. We'll see how that ends up. I feel like Scarlett's actually running out of units to the front here to keep on pushing through. Her supply is waning, and that is looking as though Gerald might just have a defense in here. Some of that stack defense really did stand strong and do a lot for him. The Zealots continue to come through, being great tanks in this scenario as well, able to really hold on and do a lot of those, if they keep alive. Yeah, Scarlett's supply is indeed dropping. This attack across the map is not working out, and it looks as though Gerald will have the defense that will secure him. Potentially a second game of this series then, and obviously a third map now will be on the horizon, because that is a rough spot for Scarlett. Down in workers, down in army, not really much tech on the field. His attack looked hopeful, and breaking into the main, I thought that was a good chance, but Gerald honestly dealt with every position very well. Having this stack defense in place to help secure the third base especially was very good, because that meant that he did not have to worry so much in that regard as well. So definitely a lot of positives there, as we'll see the Void Rage is going to get the Creep Tumor. And yeah, +2 attack, Storm, Charge, continue to come online for the moment. They see the Lings going to show up and go after a couple of those probes, spawn the Queen. Going to hit the Oracle, and Oracle actually going to go down. It's a mistake from Gerald. Scarlett does rebuff her supply with a round of Hydras. She did get the drone count of 2. My only so against a lot of pros, I think Scarlett would be in trouble. I do wonder, does Gerald just sit back though? Because if Gerald just sits back here and waits too long, then Scarlett might be able to recover as though nothing ever happened, right? Like the Hydra den's up, the Hydra upgrade's coming through. It is only Roach Hydra. We're not kind of on the precipice of lurkers or anything, right? Like we were in the last game, so it's obviously not quite as teched up as she'd like to be, but it feels like a more reasonable chance for Scarlett than she should maybe have based on what we've seen so far. Now that depends to Scarlett. If Scarlett keeps on attacking, I'm not sure if I love that. She's going to find those Zealots without charge currently. The charge just finished up. You got to jump on a few of them. They're actually going to pull back. And with Storms nearby, it's probably not worth Scarlett continuing to commit, although she is splitting up to maybe fight on 2 different sides again, similar to the last game. Plus some missiles, the group of spines coming up. Lings and Hydra just going to knock their way through a set of rocks, open up that right-hand side. Try and fight. Those Hydras putting some work in. Just going to be seeing the Roach Hydra on the left side, going to pull back a little bit. A couple of High Templars ready there with the Storms. Again, the Hydra's on the right side. It's that splitting action that Gerald has to go for. And Scarlett actually looks like she's going to win out on the left-hand side already. On the right side, I was going to say, we're waiting on the Storm side. I've not seen one drop. Finally, some drop down, but the Hydra's actually surviving. That's a lot of DPS that remains. The next Storm was pretty good. Like I say, Scarlett kind of won on the left-hand side. 25 probes already going down. I think she is running out of units for the moment, but the amount of damage she just dealt, very good chance that she rebuilds and has a lot of success again in the future, as yeah, 25 probes killed is a pretty serious number, and Gerald lost a lot of his tech units there as well. He's coming back over again, still going to get jumped on. Just a flood of Lings right now. I actually like it because she got rid of a lot of the techier units, right? So the Storms aren't there to really stop the Lings super quickly. And right now you see Lings actually getting on top of these Stalkers, which is not exactly ideal. Pull back with a few more units, just going to get those out of there. And again, 13 additional Hydras, 18 additional Hydras continue to come about for now. I'm just setting up the changeling and go moving through. The +2 missiles, Hydras in the hive, continue to come online. Cannon, probes, all coming over. And the 3 Templars joining up as we try and resettle and rebuild the tech. Scarlett's going to be maxed soon. I love the Drop of Lord's going to try and keep this busy and kind of all over. Hive coming up for her. She gets into some better tech as well. Notably, obviously, the mothership on the way from Gerald, so he starts to improve his deck a little bit too. Can't kind of go fully into like Tempest and stuff as easily as usual because obviously he lost a lot of his High Templars, so has to spend a good amount of money replacing those to start off with. So things gonna get caught in the stasis ward. Hydras come through, another storm coming about. Hydras is going to try and run up this ramp, but I mean, you've got to be super careful and respectful of the storms. Like I say, the Lings in the main are going to act as a distraction, going to actually get the Temple Archive so we can stop new High Templar from being warped in. Ultra Cavern coming up from Scarlett too as she looks to mix up her army tech away from just Ling Hydra. Not going to get to the Lurkers this time around. He's going to fight. He's going to see that stasis ward coming down. He's going to see the storm coming in as well. Like I say, the storm's going to be a great thing to keep these Hydras back. That's why the Ultras are going to be really nice, right? Things dropping by. Forge going to be taking damage. Maybe see that Forge is going to get taken down, so those Ling drops are continuing to find some success. The High Templars are flanking that army over here, though. Those are going to be some big storms as they just go all over the Hydras and chase up. A beautiful move. By sending the High Templars specifically around that direction, it was able to cut off, like I say, and really make a difference. Really nicely done. Scarlett losing some drones as well. She will start a rebuild, but she needs to get an army right now that can actually fight against this. I guess that's where the Ultras come into play. Loses one base, already has other bases top left. The storm coming down, a couple of High Templars coming through. Again, Ultras coming about as well. There's catching, obviously these Ultras just going to try and brute force their way. They don't care as much about the storms, so then you need some of the more powerful units. And that's something which Gerald is kind of missing. These Ultras might just steamroll through at the moment. There's like one Archon. There's no Immortals, right? Yeah, there's none of the bigger, chunkier units that are meant to be really good against the Ultras. This has been a very storm-based defense, and I mean, the High Templars are running up right now. If I see this as Scarlett, I'm like, okay, I'll come chomp your High Templars. You can storm these Ultras all you like. Oh my god. The High Templars, what were they thinking? Trying to run up over here like they owned this house. They didn't realize these were Ultralisks? I'm just pulling back. Zealots taking some shots. We are going to see the Ultras continue to come through. "40 probes dead, and Scarlett's going to bring this game back. Wow, from a failed attack that she had on the kind of an all-in attack as well. It was kind of a weird one, like it was a counter, but she definitely lost a lot. She came out down in supply, and And now she knocks the 3rd and 4th base down of Gerald. The only thing she might just need is a Spire just to clean up the Tempest count a little bit. And at this point, I'd imagine she could afford it with 82 drones and the entire map starting to be covered in creep and bases as well. Just 3 missiles plus 2 carapace continue to come about. The Temple Archives coming up as well right here. Let's have ourselves the feelings, the Ultra, and so continuing about. Just going to open up that set of rocks again. Potential to move down to that bottom left-hand side. A few more Archons coming up right here. As Geralt tries to find a final defense in this game to keep him alive, but the reality probably is that this is going to be a very, I want to say one-sided fight. I don't think, I mean, the Archon's obviously going to help against the Ultras a bit more, but then the Archons are not great against the Hydras. Now you've got really no Storms left. Okay, there's a couple Storms in the background. Yes, High Templar already has to drop the Storm down, and it actually dies to the splash. The Ultras alone will solo the ground army, and now we just have to fight the Tempests. And Geralt will not make Scarlett do that, as GG gets called, and Scarlett will take the 2-0 to move on through in